What is going on, Scorpio? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazzy, your favorite Cali reader. This is going to be your the unexpected for the next 30 days. Okay, so for whenever you see this reading, that's when these messages will apply. All right, so remember, this reading is general in nature, meaning it's not going to apply to all of you, nor is it meant to. So please take the messages that seem like they are meant for you, and please leave the rest for someone else. Okay, so we are covering general messages, money, career, finances, love life, potential challenges, and overall unexpected outcome here. This is all talking about the unexpected. So just know that some of this may already be playing out, but a lot of this may not have even happened yet. Okay. Your free will always play a part. Decisions you make or don't make, right, can always change things. So we are going to start off with the bottoms of the decks that I've used for your reading to first get the hidden messages, see what's kind of like unseen at this time, and then we'll dive into everything that's unexpected within the next 30 days. So I am going to timestamp all the sections, so I will be diving into each of them one by one and clarifying a bit further with the tarot, and then getting an outcome for you guys. Okay, so hope y'all are doing well. So looking at the bottoms of the decks here, we have career, to be fair, adjacent possibilities, earth sign, and tower. All right, so for some of you may be going through a tower moment, meaning like something that you knew eventually would fall apart, but maybe have been avoiding it. Anytime a major arcana in the tarot comes out, for those that may or may not know, anytime a major arcana comes out, this means that's a major event that is going to ultimately affect you in a big way. That's inevitable. It's like we can delay it, we can avoid it, but it's going to eventually happen regardless. And so when the tower comes, that can, it's all perception. It's all about how you choose to see it. A lot of people look at the tower and they automatically get scared. They think it's something bad. We can view it like that, or we can view it as, this, whatever the tower typically represents, something that wasn't built on a solid foundation anyway, meaning something that was going to eventually fall apart. It just was a matter of time. Okay, so some of you may be experiencing that at this time, but I feel like it's kind of like what's necessary. So I feel like for some of you, it's like you guys are being presented an opportunity within this next 30 days to really consider. Some of you may be considering moving, changing careers, maybe taking your career in a different direction, whether you're a business owner, whether you're, have a 9-to-5, whatever it is that you do for work, or whatever your career is. It feels like there are going to be new doors of opportunity that are going to be opening up to you. And it's going to be, it's like not putting I feel like it's like an energy of not putting your eggs in one basket, right? With this adjacent possibilities card, it's giving me energy of kind of like the 7 of Cups, meaning that there's, maybe a bunch of options for you to choose from, but not all of them are going to be meant for you. Not all of them will be good choices. So it's going to be important to use your discernment, and also, look at what the, to be fair, kind of like looking at what's best for all involved. Okay, some of you may be dealing with the earth sign, that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. They may be of significance to you in the next 30 days. But it feels like I said, some of you, it may be feeling like something's falling apart, whether this is a connection, something related to your job, your work, your career, your money, whatever, your home. It may be feeling like things are falling apart in some type of way, or something, is just completely crumbled and crashed, right? But I feel like there's a need to understand that, everything is cause and effect, which some people call karma, but it doesn't have to, it's not good or bad. It's just essentially, it just is, meaning it's a result of the energy that we put out, is, the result of what we get in return. So if something is falling apart, that's an opportunity to maybe identify and be, become aware of, well, what maybe energy have I emitted in order for this to, happen like this, right? So, it feels like also you guys, like I said, have, a lot of other things to consider, whether it's options, whether it's opportunities, whether it's, connections, whatever that is for you. There are many other options available to you. So, it's always, up to each individual to choose to decide, if I'm going to be open to the other possibilities and other options and choices, or if I'm going to be closed off to just the one, right? That decision is personal to each of you, but it definitely feels like anything that has not been built on something solid, wasn't started, maybe from a solid and grounded place, it eventually will fall apart, but the sooner the better, so that way you can rebuild, and because you know what went wrong the first time, so you can rebuild from, you know, start over, essentially, not from scratch, but from experience. Okay, so let's dive into this reading for you guys, see what's going on for my Scorpios. So general messages, we have attachment, card number 5. So some of you, this could be a birthday, this could be a life path number. 5s also represent change, okay? Whether they're positive or negative, it's again subjective. It depends on how you choose to view it. But we do have attachment and card 48, angel of balance. So it does feel like some of you may be discovering that you might be feeling like you're attached to something or someone. This could also be someone that may be attached to you. But it feels like there's, however that fits, there's something here that for some of you is keeping you stuck, tied, and bound, okay? Clarifying that is the 4 of Wands. So for some of you, this is family, all right? Some of you, this could definitely be family. That is essentially that some of you may be finding yourself attached to family. That may be something you haven't considered, or that could be something that's a new concept to you, that maybe you weren't looking at it like that, is why it's coming up in the unexpected. But for some of you, it feels like there's some balance that needs to be restored here. Okay, there's going to be an opportunity within the next 30 days that is going to give you an opportunity to restore balance, to maybe detach yourself from a family dynamic, a union, a situation. For some of you, this could definitely be a relationship of some sort. The 4 of Wands, you know, also represents a marriage. It represents a community of people. So like I said, whether this is family or just a group of friends, you know, whatever, some of you are, you know, maybe discovering or seeing how there's some type of unhealthy attachment that some of you might have. And typically, you know, our attachments, wherever they lie, are always, you know, rooted from the root chakra, which is your first chakra, your chakra that stores and holds our childhood experiences, wounds, traumas, things like that, that start from the beginning of our life, of this lifetime. That's where those things are stored and held in your first chakra, which is also your money chakra. So if you find that some of you are having issues, you know, financially, things like that, the first chakra, your root chakra, is one that you can look at and start, you know, doing work around in order to clear any blockages or imbalances that may reside there. Okay, so some of you, this may be of a new discovery, something that you know, things are falling apart, and that could be why, because there's some attachments in your root chakra that need to be cleared. Okay, and so like I said, the Tower can definitely, you know, it's always typically something that's unexpected, which is what this reading is about anyway. But it's you know, gonna happen regardless, one way or another. So some of you, if you're feeling like things are falling apart or something, that's, you know, something to look at. You know, where may I have had blockages that have been stemming from childhood? You know, what type of wounds or attachments, things have I been holding on to, basically, that have been making me feel stuck, tied, or bound to since childhood, right? Because that's what, you know, your foundation represents. That's what that is based off of, your the things that are stored there. So if that's, you know, coming up for you at this time, then that's something to definitely consider and look at. Okay, so let's see. Spirit, clarify the 4 of Wands. What is it here for Scorpios? 9 of Wands. So for some of you, this is something like, this could definitely be a connection, that some of you haven't been wanting to give up on, that you've been maybe kind of like steadfast, just kind of like going hard in the paint, you know, so to speak, that some of you may be finding that you're, you know, attached to. And like I said, that could be, you know, due to some type of healing that is necessary, because this angel of balance is giving me temperance energy. That's Sagittarius energy, which is also the card of healing, alchemizing, right? So basically turning water into wine, so to speak. Okay, so for some of you, there could be some healing that is needing to be done at this time surrounding your foundation, surrounding your root chakra. Okay, for some of you, this is maybe setting boundaries with your family. Some of you, that could be something that's necessary here, of why there's healing that's needed, is that some of you maybe have boundaries that are needed with your family, or with a connection of some sort that, you know, is attached to you, or that's pulling on you, that's pulling on your energy, or that's keeping you stuck, tied, or bound in some type of way. I feel like for some of you, it's like if boundaries are not implemented where it's needed, that is essentially what's going to, you know, create this tower of, you know, things. It has to crumble at some point. It has everybody that's within it has to be blown out of it to start over. Okay, and you know, like I said, we can avoid it and delay it and push it off as much as, you know, as long as you want, but the longer you do that, the longer you delay that process, the harder it's going to hit when it does happen. So it's kind of like, for me personally, I'd rather kind of like let it fall apart when I know it's going to fall apart anyway, instead of keep trying to patch it up, you know what I'm saying? Let's just start over. Let's just wipe the slate clean and start completely fresh, because now I know where I went wrong the first time. I can go back into this new one with all that taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather do that instead of trying to prolong something that's inevitable. You know what I mean? That's inevitably going to happen anyway. Okay. So for some of you, that's, you know, what this is here, but it feels like there is going to be an opportunity here that's presenting itself to restore balance. Whether this, like I said, is in a connections, one that you found yourself kind of like tied or attached to, whether it's family or actual union, a partnership of some sort. For some of you, it's a marriage, if you know that applies to you. I feel like there definitely needs to be boundaries though. Okay. We need to have boundaries, and, you know, allow yourself to identify where you need healthy boundaries within whatever this is, but also others that need that with you. You see what I'm saying? Where you implement the boundaries and others respect your boundaries, but you do that, you know, for others as well. Okay. So where this pertains to your money, career, and finances, we have prosperity and grieving. All right. So for some of you, there may be an unexpected loss of money. Okay, so some of you may be guided to save your money at this time. Okay, and that could be, like I said, we're talking about the foundation. So for some of you, this may have to do with the home of some sort. Some of you may be, you know, like I said, have lost a job, or, you know, some type of stream of income has have stopped suddenly, unexpectedly. And I feel like that could have to do with, you know, whatever this attachment is, because everything is energy. So when you address your chakra system, that will essentially play a major role in everything else happening in your 3D reality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I love the chakra system so much, because when you learn what each of those systems, those chakra centers govern in your physical reality, and you take care of those, everything else in your 3D falls into place as well as a byproduct of that, because it's all energy. So when you take care of the energy on the inside, it reflects that as outside as well. Okay. So clarifying, we have the Four of Pentacles. So 44 here, okay? 44 may be of significance. That may be a number you guys are seeing, but another 4, again, about, you know, your foundation. But this one is about money. So for some of you, you may, you know, suddenly, unexpectedly, maybe finding yourself having to, you know, save your money, or kind of like skimping, you know, I forgot what they say, but anyway, kind of like really having to save in order to get by. Okay. So that could be something that, you know, is on the horizon that I would be mindful of. Okay. And like I said, that it's giving you an opportunity here to identify though, where within your root chakra are you finding yourself attached to maybe the wrong things, the wrong people that are creating these imbalances. Like I said, though, there is going to be an opportunity here though for, with this angel of balance, for balance to be restored, for whatever things have been out, you know, off or out of alignment to come back into alignment, to be restored in a balanced and healthy manner. But, you know, it's a matter of identifying what that is first. It's like, you can't identify there's a problem, you know, you can't identify how to fix it if you don't identify that there's even a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, if there's a hole in your boat, if you haven't identified there's a hole in the boat, but you're not fixing, you know, how can you fix all the water that's essentially making it sink? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't identified, like, where did all this water come from? If you haven't found where the hole is, right? How can you stop it from leaking? You see what I'm saying? And that's what your money is. That's what your currency is, right? That's why it's currency, right? Currency, like the current, the ocean, the water. That's what money is. Money is energy. Money needs to flow. So if you're finding yourself attached and stuck in certain places, that's going to also stagnate your money. So that's where I feel like for some of you, this is kind of like in, you know, letting you know in advance that if your money is slowing down, or it does come to like a complete stop at some point, that's because there's some type of unhealthy attachment that some of you have to family, whether it's a lack mindset or people around you that are in a lack vibration. It's essentially affecting your energy as well. Some people think that, oh, well, their life doesn't affect mine. Yes, the fuck it can. It definitely can, because energy moves. It doesn't die. It just changes form. And anybody who is an open vessel, if you're vibrating at a certain frequency, the same way as like you're turned into a radio station, right? You can only hear one song playing on 92.5 that's playing on 92.5. You're not going to hear the same song. Typically, if you're looking, you know, listening to 93.3, you're not going to hear the same song on 92.5 unless you're tuned to that same channel. So for some of you, if you're finding that you're needing to all of a sudden save money, or money is being lost, you're like, damn, why did I lose this or why did I lose that? This is giving you an opportunity to restore that balance by identifying any type of negative attachments that some of you might have. Okay, some of you that have been, you know, fighting for the wrong thing, or fighting to keep people around, or putting yourself, like interjecting yourself into spaces, situations that you don't need to. Some of you, it's about like, you know what, I need to protect my energy and let you handle your problems and do your thing, because what y'all got going on is affecting what I got going on, and I can't have that. You see what I'm saying? You are a product essentially of the people that you spend most of your time around. So, you know, if you find yourself getting involved in other people's bullshit, other people's, you know, drama and, you know, shit like that, it's going to affect your finances. It's going to affect your connections. It's going to affect all the things that you do. If you're vibrating on that frequency, you have to be able to rise above it in order for it to no longer affect you. Because then what happens when it comes towards you, it misses, right? Because you're on two different levels. But if you're on the same level, that's when it hits you. That's when you get impacted by other people's frequency, other people's energy, right? But when you're vibrating above that, right, when it comes towards you and they're trying to get you involved or trying to come to you for help, but they need to help themselves, it'll miss you, right? So some of you, that's what I feel like is happening here, okay? But like I said, there is an opportunity for, like I said, balance to be restored, for all this to kind of, you know, to fix itself. But it's, again, about identifying the problem, you know, so you can look to the solution, so you can allow the solution to come to you. All right, so oh my bad, let me jump ahead. What's the Four of Pentacles, Spirit? Why is it here for Scorpios regarding their money, career, finances? Clarify the Four of Pentacles, please. Ace of Cups in reverse. So like, yeah, so Ace of Cups in reverse with the Judgment. So some of you may be going through an awakening. That could also be what's happening here, where this reading could be serving as that as well, is like bringing something to light that maybe you weren't able to see before, or you weren't able to identify. For some of you, maybe just didn't want to look at it. And we all have that, you know, go through that, right? Where it's just like, oh, I don't want to deal with that right now. No, it's not as bad as I think it is. If I just ignore it, it'll pass. That's not always the case. Okay. So for some of you, this is identifying, you know, where we're losing money because we're not loving ourselves. Some of you are overgiving. You're overgiving. If you're not pouring into yourself, you have nothing to pour. You have nothing to give from your overflow. Do you see how this cup is full? All this water that's coming on the sides, that's being able to pour into others from our overflow. But if your cup is empty, which is exactly how this card came out, okay, that's why you're not able to, it's like you can't give what you don't have. So for some of you, you might be finding yourself tight on money within the next, 30 days, or losing, like I said, some type of job, or it seems like money just keeps running from you, getting away from you. And that's because you're pouring from an empty cup. Some of you really have some work to do regarding your, self-love, loving yourself, doing the shadow work around your attachments to people, your attachments to family, maybe lack, even if it's not family, like physically, the negative beliefs or mentality, lack mentality, or whatever that is to family, even if it's just energetic, ties, like cutting cords, energetically cutting cords to family. You see what I'm saying? It's all encompassed. It's all, kind of like it all plays its part essentially. So some of you are going through an awakening about that. Some of you are really being called. This Judgment card is essentially, can definitely represent an awakening to what the fuck needs to happen, what needs to change, because obviously, for some of you, it's like something needs to fall apart in order for it, you to be rebuilt and start over from a more solid place. Something needs to basically crash and burn first. But, it's going to be up to you to make this decision, because this card also represents, looking at something, really opening your eyes and looking at something from an objective perspective, basically, like really, looking at it for what it is and making an ultimate decision, deciding that, what, I can't do this anymore, and standing 10 toes down on whatever decision that might be. Okay. Ultimately doing what's best for you, because while we feel like, oh, well, if I, leave, my family, or if I leave these people behind, or if I leave this connection, whatever it might be, that they're not going to be able to do this, or they're going to struggle, or whatever. But you have to understand, our souls all signed up for these experiences. So you have to know that whatever all of us experience, our soul chose that. Meaning that from a human perspective, it may sound fucked up to be like, oh, well, they're struggling in this way, and, I want to help them. Sometimes we're meant to help them, but sometimes there are things that their soul signed up to personally experience. Like a lot of people that are homeless, or that, go through certain very chaotic and tumultuous experiences, you know, from our human perspective, it feels fucked up and it's sad and it's, you know, and it's horrible and all those things. And yes, we could feel those. That's part of the human experience. But when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, right, which I feel like is what some of you are awakening to, is when you view things from that perspective, you know that everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to. As fucked up as it might be from a human point of view, from a spiritual point of view, it's in divine alignment. They wanted to experience that. For some of them, that's them paying their karma back. And this is the year of karma. This is the year of the 8. 44, that's an 8. Okay? So for some of you, you may be, you know, this may be whatever you're experiencing could be part of yours as well. Meaning just cause and effect. Meaning whatever energy has been put out is a result of that. But that's where when you take your power back is when you identify what has happened. That, oh, I created this shit. I did this. I signed up for this shit. Cool, now I'm gonna fix it. If I put myself here, I also know I can get myself out. You see what I'm saying? That's how you take your power back from any situation, especially the ones that you are, that are less desirable. That's how you take your power back, is by identifying and taking accountability that, you know what, my thoughts put me here. My limiting beliefs put me here. Me trying so hard to help other people and be there for other people put me in this situation of now having to like scrimp and save my money and shit. But cool, now I know what to do. I know what it is that I need to fix, and I'm gonna fix that to get myself out of it. It really is that, it can be that simple, that like the concept is simple, it's just not easy. Okay, so some of you, that's kind of what's happening here, is that your money may be slowing down this month, and that's because it's helping you awaken to, you know, how maybe some of you are trying to give from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. Like, how can, if my green juice, right, for example, if my green juice was completely empty, how would I have any to share with you and tell you how good it tastes? Right? It'd be like, damn, I want to share. I wanted you to taste it, but it's all gone. And if you're like mouth dry and about to die, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And that would really suck, right? I can't give you though, if it's anything, if it's empty. So I feel like some of you, that's part of what the awakening is about, that some of you are experiencing at this time, is where you're giving, essentially you're trying to give from an empty place. And that comes from you needing to first love yourself, restore your own energy, because this is all energy. So when you start pouring back into yourself, loving yourself, doing things that are for you and not for anybody else, right? That's how you refill this cup, and it has plenty to give to everybody else. It's like, if my bottle is empty, I have nothing to give, but I have to first go fill it up, right? Like I had to first make my juice for me to be able to show it to you and use this even as an analogy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving from, you know, I'm giving now from a mostly full cup, right? So to speak, a mostly full bottle. So, and that's because I took the time, right, to fill it up first before I could even share it with you. So that's what some of you this month are, you know, I mean, within the next 30 days, that's what some of you are unexpected. That's what this is trying to show you. That's what some of you, what this awakening is about. Okay, needing to heed the call. Like, if you don't want this to continue, if you don't want it to get worse, then there's a decision that some of you are going to need to make. Okay, so let's keep going. How's this? What's going on with Scorpio's love life? So we have moving and intuition, change of residence, moving in with your partner. So some of you may be moving. This is unexpected. Some of you may be moving in with someone. Someone may be, you know, you guys maybe end up cohabitating with someone. Okay, and then we have intuition, or maybe that's something you're thinking about. And then we have intuition. The red flags you ignore, now will come back to bite later. So for some of you, you may be unexpectedly wanting to move in with someone, or, you know, some of you may be getting back together with someone and y'all are talking about moving in together. But some of you have been like having inklings against that. Okay, this is, I feel like a warning for some of you, and that could be what this attachment is about, where some of you have maybe some, it's like this, it feels like some of you, this is awakening you to some abandonment wounds that some of you have, meaning like, you know that a certain connection isn't for you, you've already broken up or something, but you get back together with this person because you don't want to be alone, or because there's this underlying fear that, you know, they'll move on without me and they'll do better, and or I'll never find someone else. You know what I'm saying? Those are wounds essentially from our childhood. Okay, and some of you, like I said, this is happening to awaken you to the love that you're lacking for yourself. Okay, and that's just what the fuck it is, because that's what the Ace of Cups represents, is a new beginning here, a new start, you know, but trying to pour from an empty cup. Okay, and it's affecting, and it looks like it's affecting your finances. If it hasn't yet, it will be. Okay, because it's like I said, it's unexpected. So some of you may be kind of like, oh, thinking everything's great and everything's fine, and then boom, you're without a job. Boom, you're without, you know, whatever this, you know, is, or a collaboration or whatever that you're working on, and it's like I said, it's sudden, it's unexpected. You didn't see it coming. Okay, with the Tower here. So this is your indication that maybe some of you, like I said, have been thinking about, you know, talking about moving in with someone, whatever. But if this person, whoever that is, if they have attachments, okay, or you guys are attached to each other, guess what? Their family wounds and attachments are going to affect you as well. Okay, because you're in that energy. Like I said, energy doesn't die, it changes form. Meaning if y'all are again vibrating on the same frequency, they easily pass that to you. Next thing you know, you're struggling too. Okay, so let's clarify. 10 of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, like I said, this is definitely family. Some of you may have been contemplating on, you know, letting someone move in with you, like family or something. For others of you, this has to do with literally like a partner. Okay, someone that maybe you've already been with, maybe you're already currently seeing, that, you know, you're wanting to move in with this person. But some of you have been kind of like, I don't know, it kind of don't feel right. But some of you, like I said, there's some type of attachment here, some wounding with family, or something that stemmed from a childhood where some of you are maybe feeling pressure to let this person move in with you. Okay, and so Spirit is saying, like, but again, when you are in this energy, when you love yourself enough, you're not gonna let the fucking, you know, red flags steer you the wrong way. And that's what I feel like for some of you, this is kind of like helping you again awaken to, right? Is that, you know, that like decisions that we make sometimes, where we feel like we have to let people come live with us, or we have to do this, we have to be there for them in this kind of way. Some of you is depleting you and you don't even know it. And that's why this is coming up in your unexpected energy, is that you let this person move in with you, you know, from this place of, well, you know, I need to do this or blah, 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 because it makes you feel needed, right? It makes you feel like, you know, like a sense of love, like, well, it'll show them that I care about them because I'm helping them, but then not realizing how it's really putting you in a detriment. Okay. But when you love yourself, again, when you're in this energy of, I know what's best for me, I can take care of myself, I'm doing all this for myself, whatever, it brings you out of that energy. And then you don't feel like you need to be Captain Save-A-Ho for everybody. And some of you, that's just some type of boundary that is needing to be set here. Okay. You'll know if that's your story, you'll know if it applies. So let's see. Spirit, clarify the 10 of Cups for Scorpio, please. Why is this here for your love life? It's unexpected. The next 30 days. Clarify the 10 of Cups for Scorpio, please. Clarify the 10 of Cups. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands. 10, 10, okay? 4, 4, 10, 10, all right? 10 of Wands. So this is about being overwhelmed, being burdened, baggage, okay? Carrying too much, doing too much, taking on too much responsibility that some of you are needing to drop, okay? Like, you see all those wands he's carrying, right? That means that he's taking on too much. He's doing too much. He's taking on the responsibilities and the burdens of other people that he don't need to take on. And so some of you, that's what this is essentially, that some of you may be like deciding to let someone move in with you, or taking on, you know, taking in someone, whether it's family or you know, a spouse or whatever, that some of you are like, your intuition is telling you like, it don't feel right, like something like that, right? Where if it's not a hell yes, it should be a hell no. But for some of you, you may be ignoring that. And that's what's going to put you in this energy of being at a detriment. Okay. Just saying. So I have to go get my son from school soon. So let's keep going. So in your challenge, we have the fork in the road and deep knowing. You see what the fuck thank you, Spirit. This is, I swear to God, this is so much confirmation right here. So card 13 and 43, fork in the road and deep knowing. This is coming up in your challenge. So this is like you guys, like I said, being at a crossroads where you're kind of like, I don't know, I'm not sure, or like something inside you is telling you that I probably shouldn't do this. This probably isn't the best idea. And some of you, this deep inner knowing, this deep knowing is, you know, deep down, you know that something isn't right. You know, right? Your intuition is telling you, is talking to you, but some of y'all are really ignoring it. And it's like, you're gonna feel it. I feel like some of you, if you ignore it, you're gonna feel it in your pockets. Okay. For some of you, this also, what I just realized is that some of you guys, even though this is coming up in your finances, I feel like this is affecting your finances. So, but it feels like it's part of your love life, where some of you, Where there has been love that's no longer there in a connection, y'all are given another chance to. So some of you, like I said, this is someone you've already broken up with, someone y'all have already left behind or detached from, whatever, because of an attachment. Y'all are giving someone another chance. Y'all are taking, you know, a second look, and maybe we made a mistake, or maybe we can make it work, but the love isn't there. The love is gone. The love is lost. There is no love there. And that, where I feel like, is why, again, your pockets are about to suffer for this, because it's teaching you that, you know, you're only taking people back because you don't love yourself enough to feel and know that I could do better, even though, you know what I'm saying, there's plenty of options. Okay. And this, to be fair, this is about, you know, considering all the options, what's best for all involved. So maybe not just what's best for this person, but what's also best for you. Okay. And that's crazy. Underneath that, indecision. Underneath the adjacent possibilities is indecision, which is basically the same fucking card, okay, as this fork in the road. Underneath that, storm warning. Okay, so it's like you guys are, it's like spirit is really, I feel like, really trying to warn you guys, really trying to really be like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, things are gonna fall the fuck apart. It's gonna crash down and burn if you ain't, you know, if you don't heed the call, because that's exactly what this card also represents, heeding the call. You're being called. It's like they're trying to call you. Spirit is trying to call you, but you ain't answering the phone. You're going to learn the hard way, okay? It's like some of you, this is a major warning. Your attachments are getting the best of you in some type of way, all right? So clarifying, this is the Ace of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is like you're in this indecision energy because, you know, deep down, I feel like you know that it's not meant to be. It's not going to work. It's not going to yield the result that you want. But there's this energy here of, well, there's a potential. But what if it does? Potential is great, but you can't bank on potential, because if it never gets there, then what? You're disappointed. And how much time did you waste on something that never happened? That's just the same. I'm giving an example. That's the same as putting a seed in the ground, right? You can put the seed in the dirt. That's the potential. That's what essentially the ace represents, is that first step, taking that first step, the idea, I'm gonna plant this seed. But what's required after that? You need to nurture it. You need to take care of it. You need to water it. You need to put it out in the sun. You need to, you know, talk to it. There's a lot of things that you don't have to talk to it, but you get what my point here is, that there's steps after that that get you to the point of actually growing, right? The plant of what it is, that of the seed that you planted. There's steps that are needed to be taken after that. You don't just go from the ace to the 10. There's work that's put in. There's decisions that are made that you know, happen in between the ace to the 10. That's the same as the steps that are needed to be taken between you planting that seed and the seed actually bearing fruit, right? So some of you, this is why it's in your challenge, because it's something that you're needing to consider at this time, that yes, there may be a potential for something to work this time around, but where is that potential coming from? You know what I'm saying? How good are the odds of that potential actually taking place? Is both parties really ready to put in the work? Are you guys really on the same page about what's required, the effort that's required? Are you really ready to do the healing? Are we really ready to take care of our attachments, right? Like if money does, you know, fall apart and money does get tight, are they going to leave you? You know what I'm saying? Like these are things to consider. And some of you have a deep knowing that something isn't going to work. And I feel like some of you may be ignoring it anyway, and not realizing there's plenty more other options out there for you. There are more things you could choose from. Okay. Let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles for Scorpio's challenge. I feel like some of you guys too, the way my throat chakra is all of a sudden locking up, some of you, there's like things that need to be said that you're not saying. There's maybe a conversation that needs to be had. Maybe there's something that y'all haven't spoke on. Okay, Five of Swords, it fell in reverse. I'm not going to take it because it just the way it came out. But for some of you, it's like some of you just don't want to argue. You don't want to fight, right? And it doesn't have to turn into that. But that should be a red flag. If you can't communicate with someone without it being turned into an argument or them trying to manipulate you or take it the wrong way, that's not for you anyway. We shouldn't even be considering that anyway, right? But again, when you don't love yourself, when you feel like, oh, I have to do this, or, you know, deep down, like, you know, because I won't find anything better, or what if, you know, I don't get, you know, this, or what if that, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just coming from a place of lack. That's a lack mentality. And that's what this attachment here is, where we're needing to break that shit. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. What is it here for Scorpios, please? So we have the Eight of Cups. Exactly. So this is the challenge here, is that some of you, it's like you see the potential in what could be, but deep down, you guys know that you need to walk away, that your happiness lies somewhere else. Some of you, like I said, are just giving something another chance, knowing that the love is gone, the love is not there. But due to a lack of self-love, right? We attach ourselves and keep people around that we need to just let go of and walk away from. Some of you already know this though, okay? So potential outcome, unexpected potential outcome is the sun. So this is, you know, can definitely represent happiness, positivity, okay? New opportunities, you know, being in a really positive energy, a really great space, but this also can definitely represent illumination, meaning, you know, the light being shed on something that's been hidden, meaning whatever's been done in the dark comes to light, okay? And that could be unexpected, where, you know, someone's true intentions are exposed. This also talks about exposure, okay? And that could be positive or negative. It's all, you know, situational. So however that translates for you, but this is a potential unexpected outcome, something being illuminated, maybe something coming to the surface, maybe whoever isn't trying to say something or speak on something, it's going to come out, okay? The truth, it's like the truth will be revealed at some point, all right? Clarify the sun, spirit. What does the sun represent for Scorpio's unexpected outcome, please? For the next 30 days. What does the sun represent for Scorpio? 6 of Wands. 4 of Swords came in sideways. So this is success. This is victory, okay? Overcoming challenges. So for some of you, it's like if you're heeding the call, it's like realizing that I have the power of my reality. Like I'm in control of, you know, my decisions. I am a co-creator with spirit, with the Most High, okay? I have everything I need on my own. I don't need to subject myself to something that really isn't for me, okay? Some of you, this is what's underneath the deck, is realizing how powerful you really are, taking your power back and realizing that I have everything in my arsenal. That's what this card represents, and I love the way this card depicts it because it shows all the elements. That means you have you have the ideas, the thoughts, you have the resources, you have the emotions, the passion, the intention, and you the passion, which is the wand, but you have the emotions and, you know, intention to back it, okay? So it's like that's all you need to manifest. And so this is, I feel like, showing you guys, reminding you that you have everything you need. You just need to believe in yourself. So for some of you, this is a potential outcome is, you know, depending on obviously what you do with it, is that I feel like for some of you that really choose that, you know what, I can have better. I don't need to stay in something where there is no love there, right? That I can be successful otherwise. But some of you are blocking your healing here. Your healing, it's like some of you know this, but, you know, it's like you're blocking the healing that's trying to take place here, okay? Some of you, that's kind of like, you know, that could be coming up as a blockage, or some of you are not trying to do the healing. You're not trying to do that inner work. And that's going to really affect a lot of things. It's like the longer you avoid it, the longer it's going to take and the harder it's going to hit, right? The longer we hold on to certain habits, the harder they are to break and replace. So it's interesting though, because underneath the Tower is the 6 of Wands again, okay? 2 different tarot decks. The 6 of Wands is shown up here twice, okay? So this is like, look, and then the 8 of Pentacles. So this is like victory, success, unexpected victory and success in your work, in your finances, with whatever you're putting your time, effort, and energy towards. But I feel like it's going to require you to walk away from something though that you thought had potential, that you really have a deep inner knowing is kind of like gone, right? Some of you, if this is like reconsidering a connection that has already left, that you've already, like, you know, disconnected from or broke up with or whatever, this is like indicative of, you know, realizing, coming to the awareness that you only attracted that person to show you, for them to mirror you where you weren't loving yourself enough to know that you could have better, you can do better, you can do more, you can have more, you deserve more than maybe what this person was giving you. And so this is like an opportunity again for you to trust yourself. Some of you already know this. Your intuition is telling you this, told you maybe the first time, and here it is coming up again, letting you know. You ignoring the red flags. We went through this before. We ignored the red flags before, and what happened? Now the red flags are showing themselves again. Are we going to ignore it again? Or are we going to learn this time and literally walk away from potential and go towards something that we know, right, that we can have, that's in alignment? That's really what we want, which is happiness, joy, prosperity, new opportunities, right? Seeing things clearly. All the cards laid out on the table. No hidden motives or hidden agendas. It's all laid out there. All out in the front, right? So this is deep. This is deep, Scorpio. All these readings so far have been quite deep actually, but this one was real deep too. So but yeah, and it's fucking interesting. Thank you, Spirit. Look at this. Magician, High Priestess, underneath that the Wheel with the 9 of Cups, okay? So this is, oh fuck, and the Chariot and the World, bruh. Y'all see how many major arcanas these are, okay? I'm holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas in my hands right now. 5s again represent change with that 5. Things are definitely trying to change for you. But it's like I said, you need to take back your power and know how powerful you are. Follow your intuition about whatever this is. Okay. The wheel, it's like, this is karma. This person, whoever this is, that maybe y'all are considering taking back, it was just a person to teach you lessons. Okay. This person was maybe a karmic individual, meaning they were only in your life to teach you things that you needed to know, things that you signed up for on a soul level to experience in this lifetime. That's it. Doesn't mean that you're meant to be with them for life. Okay. This was, again, a cycle. The world coming right after the fucking wheel, that 2 cycles. This is karmic cycles needing to close. Okay. That's what the world represents. Closing a cycle, completion, things culminating, coming to a complete, you know, like it's completed. And then the Chariot is being in alignment. Okay. Your head and heart being on the same page, being in alignment, knowing what direction you're going and why you're going there, right? They don't need anything holding them back because they're in alignment. They're on the same page and know what the plan is. So it's like having your shadow, your light and your dark on the same tempo, right? On the same channel. And so full steam ahead. That's where your victory lies, right? And then the 9 of Cups. So this is having everything you've been wanting, right? Going straight from the 8 to the 9. When you walk away from everything and anything that is not serving you, that you know is not in alignment for you, that's what you step into. Everything that is. Okay. Wish fulfillment, joy, happiness, contentment. Everything you've been asking for is right here. But you have to make the decision to follow your intuition. And it's all right here. This is major, major shit for you guys. It's like, but you need to believe in yourself. You need to trust what you're being guided to do and really follow your intuition about it. And the intuition is showing up here twice as well. Like bro, all the confirmations, I can't even, I'm so passionate about this shit, you guys. So I apologize if it's coming off like judgmental. I'm really not at all. Not even, because I've had to go through all this shit myself as well. That's why it's coming out like this, because I've been there. I've done this. And it's not fun. It's not easy, but it's necessary. It's all for purpose. So that's why I can speak on it, you know, to enlighten, right? Reveal that to others, right? Enlighten, awaken, okay? What others need to see about their own situation. So anyway, that's what I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this reading, I really appreciate it if you smash that thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you have not. And until next time, you guys.